Welcome to the show. Welcome to Your Thought Life podcast. I am your host, Michael Anderson. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the science of trust building. And as we're looking at this foundational pillar for success today, it doesn't matter if you apply this to life or business. Everyone needs to understand the science of trust building. I'm over several teams. I have several strategic partners. I'm a growing business. I have numerous relationships with customers, all of which require these skill sets. Trust is incredibly important, and it's a measurable force that can make or break long-term progress. We want progress on our side because progress eventually turns into some form of success for our dream, goal, or aspiration. It's imperative that each of us come to the understanding that trust is the glue that holds relationships together. And research shows that in high trust environments, people are more engaged, productive, and loyal. As it pertains to entrepreneurs and leaders, trust translates directly to high client retention, smooth collaboration, and strong teams. According to a Harvard Business Review study, organizations with high trust levels see up to 50% greater productivity. That is a big number. Trust doesn't always feel good, though, because trust doesn't just feel good, it's good business. Let's talk for a moment about what happens in the brain when trust is present and active. Oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone. I love saying it that way, family. This plays a significant role, though, in trust building. When we interact positively with others, our brain releases this chemical which fosters a sense of connectedness and safety, and sometimes even well-being. Neuroscientists have found that constant acts of reliability and kindness can increase oxytocin levels, making people more likely to trust you over time. This is the paramount takeaway for this specific episode. Moreover, science is telling us unequivocally that trust isn't just emotional, but it's chemical. And because it's chemical, this is something that can equate to a repeatable process when we execute it correctly. What are the barriers, though? Well, fear of vulnerability is a huge barrier. Inconsistency is another barrier. And the lack of empathy is also a barrier. These suspects come together in us to create pause, to create a second thought, a second review. But if we're doing what we need to do to foster a good relationship and to build trust, then those secondary looks are not going to be necessary. In the absence of trust, we know that people become incredibly guarded, communication breaks down, and opportunities slip literally through our fingers. The good news is these barriers are entirely fixable if, in fact, we approach them with the right set of tactics. Let's talk about the tactics. There's a couple of things that you can begin to do right away that will put trust in your favor. And the first of which is show up and be consistent. Trust thrives on reliability, family. That is the cornerstone of consistency. Show up when you say you will, deliver on your promises, and maintain a steady presence. There's an abundance of research from the American Psychological Association that highlights consistency fosters predictability, which strengthens trust. What else can I do, Mike? You can communicate transparently. Yes, let your guard down. Transparency signals honesty. Be okay with share your intentions and don't put a whole lot of sugar on it. Just share your intention from a pure heart. Don't try to make it sound the way you think they want to hear it. Just be authentic. If you make mistakes, if you made a mistake, pony up. Even if you're a manager, even if you're a SMB owner, doesn't matter. People need to know that they're dealing with other real people who are like them. Everyone makes mistakes. The worst thing you can do is show up consistent, but then turn around and look like you are superior to them because you don't appear to have any issues or mistakes. Keep the communication lines open, and you do that by being yourself and being transparent. You can also demonstrate empathy. People have feelings, people have emotions. We, as leaders, have to recognize that. And we need to show up for them with the emotional support package that they need at that specific time. If you can just begin to understand what that emotional burden is on them and you can be there for them, you don't have to solve the problem. But if you can be there for them in an empathetic mode, let me tell you, that's going to do wonders to create connection between you and them. And you're going to do what else? Build trust. There's just a ton of research in this specific space where neuroscientists have been able to study what are called mirror neutrons. This is the brain's empathy pathway, and it activates and blossoms when we genuinely try to understand someone else's perspective. This is certainly something that you're going to have to grow into, but to the extent that you can perfect this, you're going to have three things in your favor to truly help you: the empathy, the transparent communication, and showing up consistent. You want to bring it all together with some celebratory acts. That is, shared success builds camaraderie. When your teams are doing well, when your spouse who has confided in you is doing well in a particular endeavor, let's do something really, really supportive that highlights that win, because that emotional celebration that takes place for that milestone or for that event, that issues out dopamine, and that's the feel-good hormone. Now you've got all of these chemicals coming together in a very concentrated manner to support what you are trying to accomplish for your family, for your workplace, for your business, for your other pursuits in life. This is a phenomenal recipe, and it's very simple, consisting of only 4 items. Now let's talk about the practical application, because some of us sometimes get really hung up here. In order to build trust, we have to understand it's not a one-time act. This is something that we're going to be exposed through a variety of different situations and circumstances, and it's going to require practice for mastery. What I'm trying to do is lay down a foundation for you wherewith you will have tools. When you are presented with the opportunity, you can exercise the tools. You can utilize the tools. Everything we do with respect to self-development and self-improvement, we're starting small. We're not attempting to digest this entire piece in one pass. Let's look at our inventory internally. So we got to do a little introspection, see what we're already doing, set that on the side of pros, look at the con side, those things that we haven't enacted from this short list of 4 items, and begin to use those in a way that creates change. Will you get it absolutely right the first time? Perhaps. But Is it more likely that you're going to have to experience that over a variety of situations over a larger duration? That's more likely. And be okay with that, because practical application does not take place with a single incident. It's multiple incidents and us learning through, recalibrating through, tweaking, modifying to get to a final state, which even isn't really even final because each person is going to require a little bit different approach. With that in mind, just know that building trust isn't about just being liked. I know we all want to be liked. It's one of our higher needs, but it's more so centered on the creation of a foundation that will allow us to have long-term success. And our motto is to help you fast track personal and professional success by applying the science of trust to your interactions. You'll see stronger connections, better results, and a greater sense of fulfillment in your professional as well as your personal pursuits. Trust is earned, not given, but with consistent effort, the rewards are limitless. We want to thank you so much for joining us today. Most certainly, we appreciate your time and your attention. We want to call your attention to reviews. If you can leave us a rating and a review, that certainly helps us grow. And share this information with a greater degree of people that are like-minded. You can reach us on Linktree. The link is available in the show notes. You should know that you are enough. You can do it, and you are uniquely equipped to realize your goals. Until next time, take care and be safe.